again, everybody. This video is going to be going over my experience in Squamish, British Columbia, Canada. It was one of the highlights of our entire road trip around the Pacific Northwest. The northmost area that we visited was Squamish, just about an hour or so north of Vancouver, maybe an hour or so south of Whistler. So if you're on that stretch of highway between Vancouver and Whistler, Canada, Squamish is the perfect place to stop. Did some research. I knew I wanted to do something outdoorsy, something that's okay for the whole family, because I did travel with my younger sister and both my parents. Squamish was the perfect compromise for all of us to enjoy. We got a little bit of outdoors, and there was also a nice space for the less adventurous to hang out and relax. We stayed at Squamish Adventure Inn. It was a very budget-friendly place, and it was awesome. They classify as a hostel, but it felt like any other hotel. We had our own private room, 2 beds, bath, everything that would come with a hotel. In addition, they had a communal kitchen and communal living room space. Staff was super friendly. It was very, very clean. Everything was well kept. Everything was organized. The kitchen especially, the fridge was very organized and clean. Everyone had their own sections that you could leave some groceries at if you wanted. By the way, they're like maybe a 10-minute walk to the nearest grocery store. It's just on the other side of the highway. The only thing about staying at that hostel was the road getting in. It was a little sketchy to ride on because our car was a little car, didn't have snow tires, or we didn't have chains either. By the way, I think that is illegal in Canada. Winter grade tires are needed to travel along the Sea to Sky Highway from October 1st to March 31st. And under the Motor Vehicle Act, police can fine drivers of passenger cars $121, I would assume Canadian dollars, for not having winter tires as required. So we were driving there illegally, but don't tell anybody. Anyway, that road going into the Adventure Inn was the only tricky part. We have to go really, really slow. We did see one minivan get stuck on the side. But yeah, other than that, it was wonderful. It was about a 5-minute drive from the Sea to Sky Gondola, which was super convenient. We still did end up taking, we called a taxi because we didn't want to risk getting stuck with our rental and just throw away that day trying to figure out what to do with the car. If you consider the money we would have had to pay to tow the car and all that, in my eyes, we would have saved money by taking the taxi, which we did. I purchased tickets to the Sea to Sky Gondola before we got there. The round trip gondola tickets range from $20 to $60 depending on age and the day you go and whether you purchase online or at the window. I do know that online is a bit more affordable though, and like I said, it's something for the whole family to do during all the seasons. We really enjoyed everything about it. Unfortunately, the tube park was closed. I don't think they had enough snow, but I want to come back when that does open up. But we did enjoy the suspension bridge that they have. You walk over a forest of snow-covered trees and you get the most amazing views of the snow-capped mountains, House Sound, all of that. And there are a bunch of other trails as well that we did. For the people who do want to just take it easy and have a more relaxing time, there is the lodge and dining area with floor-to-ceiling windows. You don't miss out on any of the views. They've got a dining hall with really, really delicious food that my whole family enjoyed. And of course, the fireplace to make sure you stay nice and cozy. And for the more adventurous folk like myself, there are miles and miles of trails, both short day hikes and longer backpacking trips as well. We got very, very lucky. We got there when the sky was still blue, and by the time we left it was cloudy and there was a little bit of rain. It was still beautiful, but we got lucky so that we did get to see the view, at least with some blue sky behind it. So we did end up taking the Panorama Trail, which was, I believe, less than a mile round trip. When we went, it was covered in snow, which was a cool experience, especially for my parents and my sister who have a lot less snow experience than myself. It was fresh too, not super packed. We had the whole trail to ourselves basically. We didn't run into any other people. I was not wearing the proper shoes. I was wearing boots with heels on them, so I was slipping and sliding, but everyone else had basic rubber shoes. I think my mom and my sister did have winter boots, but we didn't need any crampons or spikes or snowshoes or anything like that. We made it through just fine, and it's very safe and no places where you could really fall off, and if so, it was clearly marked. Like at the end of the trail, at the viewpoint, of course, there were clear signs where there was potential risk of falling, but yeah. It was easy, it was doable for the whole family, and I would definitely go back. Yeah, so One thing that I really wanted to do but couldn't as well, other than the two-part, was their Via Ferrata climbing route, which is they have these notches, I guess, that they had put into the face of the mountain, and you're able to climb. I think you are secured to rope and fastened. As long as you can climb a ladder, I'm sure you could do this activity. It looked epic. I want to go back. There were no spots left by the time I had made reservations to come to Squamish, but that's okay because it'll still be there hopefully. I think it's a nice way to just ease into climbing. So yeah, that's called Via Ferrata. That's also available from the top of the gondola. And after that, we drove back down south and started making our way back to Portland slowly. That was my Squamish experience. Let me know if you have visited Squamish before. I know that it's lesser known than Whistler, so it's a nice way to kind of bypass some of those crowds. But we did go earlier in the day, so it wasn't that crowded. People did start showing up towards noon. Other than that, we didn't experience the crowds. We got a spot right by the fireplace when we did choose to eat at the dining hall. If anyone watching wants help or knows of anyone who wants help planning their next vacation, I am happy to do so. I recently launched my travel business as a sustainable travel advisor focused on environmentally friendly and culturally focused vacations, all-inclusive stays and wellness retreats, safaris, cruises. I do that all for families, individuals, couples, groups, you name it. If you're remotely interested, putting my email down below as well as the link to fill out my travel inquiry form. We'll have a complimentary chat on the phone, see if it makes sense to work together, and then go from there. Thanks for watching.